fam, so I finally got the opportunity to watch The Magnificent Seven, and my God, it is probably the best Western of this century, for sure, hands down. Don't get me wrong, Django, absolutely amazing, and 310 to Yuma, if you haven't seen that, it's definitely dope. Assassination of Jesse James, all of these movies are great Westerns movies, but this movie in particular, it was amazing. Like, I can't even put to words how I feel about it, because I haven't felt this way about a movie in a long time. Like, it almost gave me that same vibe of like the Avengers when they came together for the first time, because it was all these different men, these 7 different men, with all of them with unique set of skills that made them really, really cool and stand out and have their own elements that they brought to the game. And so for this movie, Antoine Fuqua, he knocked it out of the park. He's the same guy that brought us Training Day. He's the same guy that brought us, things like Olympus Has Fallen. He's brought us The Equalizer. He's brought us Shooter. I mean, the guy has made a lot of quality movies, and I'm glad that he was at the helm, because he does action really, really well. And it's so easy to do. Just to make a classic old feel where, not so much is happening, but this is an amazing action-filled movie. Definitely a lot of shootouts, and that's what makes the movie so good to me, is because, me growing up and watching these different Westerns, I mean, Tombstone's a great movie, Young Guns 1 and 2, both great movies, but to see this type of shooting, because it's a modern day type of shooting vibe, to me personally, and I may be completely wrong, I don't shoot 6-shooters, so I don't know what that looks like, but for me it felt very, very action-packed. I mean, there was never really any dull moments. There was never no moments to me that dragged down or got slow. The pacing was very well put together. I really did enjoy the movie, absolutely. I plan on watching it a few more times. One of the coolest moments to me was just kind of how you get to see Denzel Washington go around picking up these different people to assemble his Magnificent Seven, right? So there's him, he plays a character named Sam Chisholm, and he goes around and he's kind of a bounty hunter of sorts, but not really a bounty hunter of sorts, so kind of hard. They explain the movie, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, so I will not do that. So it gets together this band of 7 really dope, just outlaws. All of them are outlaws for the most part, and all of them have done something that they haven't been very proud of, they've been shamed, or, just things aren't going their way anyway at the time, so they have nothing to lose. And because they're all 7 men who have nothing to lose, but they have all, at the same time, incredible skills, it was awesome to see men be men. Like, just straight up, just men be men. Just brave, courageous, and those are things that unfortunately some of these movies haven't done a very good job of as far as action movies go. They're either all the way just crazy, they can do whatever they want to do and never have any type of consequences or anything like that. This movie, it doesn't have that same vibe. Like, nobody is invincible, everybody has their flaws, nobody is perfect. Chris Pratt did amazing, as we all knew that he would, right? I mean, he does an amazing cowboy. Like, I am so excited, because his next project that he's going to work on is a movie made by the same guys that made John Wick. It's going to be called Cowboy Ninja Viking, and so I'm excited to see that, because I've got to see now a glimpse of Chris Pratt in the cowboy, and so I want to see what his ninja and his Viking is going to look like. It's based off a graphic novel of the same name, Cowboy Ninja Viking, so I'm excited to see that. But going back to this movie was incredible because of the fact that there were so many gunfights, like so many gunfights that like I lost track. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, where are all these bullets coming from? But it was awesome. It really was incredible. He does a kind of like a trick at one point in time. I won't give anything away, but it's really good. Even like the other characters who are not so big. You have Vincent D'Onofrio. He plays like a tracker type of a guy, and man, he's just a beast of a man. All of these characters are all beast of men. Like, I've never worn a pair of cowboy boots in my adult life, but this movie really had me feeling like, dang, maybe I should go pick up a pair. Like, it really did make me feel like, dang, like these dudes were men. Like, it really did inspire myself. Like, dang, I need to get to the gun range a little bit more, because they were putting it down, man. It was really awesome, really cool to be able to see that element in a movie where, don't get me wrong, at one point in time, Westerns, they were all the rage. I mean, Westerns are what comic book movies are today, right? I mean, there were so many of them. They were everywhere. Everybody's making a Western back in the day, and eventually the audience just, it fizzled out. You know, they had sci-fi that they moved on to. They had more horror movies that they moved on to that moved away from the original Westerns. And so, you know, to be able to see this really was a breath of fresh air for me. I know that this summer 2016 specifically, it was a movie of a lot of grand spectacle, like X-Men Apocalypse. In the trailers they promised all this amazing stuff, and when we went to watch the movie, it just wasn't there. There have been other movies, you know, that just didn't live up to the hype. The Ninja Turtle movie, I thought that movie, you know, Out of the Shadows, I thought that movie was going to be amazing, but it just didn't live up to the hype. And this Western, Magnificent Seven, although the original is amazing, right? It's an amazing movie, and everybody who really loves Westerns loves the Magnificent Seven. Remakes are so hard to do, so hard to get right, so hard for people to jump behind. I read an article earlier today that said, you know, that the Magnificent Seven was a misfire, but honestly, what movie was he watching? Because this movie was incredible. Like, it really was good. Now, I'm not going to say you should probably go run out and watch it IMAX, 3D. You probably don't need to do all that. Just regular 2D setting is fine. The movie plays very well. Like I said, visually it's beautiful. I mean, I'm from Texas, so for me, you know, the scenery is nice. I'm sure they shot in New Mexico. Shout out to New Mexicans. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's just nice to be in, you know, a time machine of sorts, be able to see these guys in action, on screen, do his thing. And Denzel, man, he brings it. Every movie he brings it. Don't get me wrong. Every single movie he brings it. But I am so glad that I got to see a Western Denzel. Now, I don't feel like he's just checking him off. Like, I've played a doctor, I've played, you know, a pilot, I've played a crooked cop. I don't think he's checking him off like that. I really do feel like he is doing what he does best. And him and Antoine Fuqua, they've been making magic together. Them brothers have been doing the Lord's work out there. Like, it's been crazy, crazy good. And so I'm excited to see. Man, I really wish that they could make a sequel to this. But you know, when you watch the movie, you'll find out. I mean, the story pretty much closes. It's based off of the original Seven Samurai. So there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. This is before the whole trilogies and universes of movies came out. So this is back when there was just one original story, and they wrapped it all up in the movie, and that was it. It was done. They called it a day. Magnificent Seven is absolutely a movie you should watch. You should absolutely watch it. If for no other reason, but just to have a breath of fresh air, man. Because, don't get me wrong, all of these other comic book movies are awesome. All these other dramas are awesome. I mean, I'm excited for a lot of the movies that are going to be coming out that have nothing to do with action. But for one last ride of the summer, ride that summer wave a little bit, Magnificent Seven is absolutely the way that you should go. I'm recommending it to everybody. In my score, my rating of the movie, of course, I try to rate movies at a 1 out of 10 basis, just because I feel like that's more accurate than 4 to 5. But I would give it, honestly, I'd probably give it a 9 for me personally, just because it was very action-packed. It wasn't anything that it wasn't supposed to be. Obviously, it's not going to be Citizen Kane or Gone with the Wind or any of those other movies, right? This is a hardcore action movie. And for me, as a hardcore action movie fan, I loved it. 9 absolutely all day. Beyond beautiful movie. Really dope, amazing action. Really cool. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. That's why I just try to keep it quick. But you should absolutely go watch this. If you've been on the fence about it, if you feel like, you know what, I've been burned by the summer blockbusters so far, you will not be burned by this. I promise you, you will not do better than Magnificent Seven this weekend or any of the next weekends. All the way probably up until Doctor Strange comes out, because there's not really a lot in between there. There's a couple things here and there, but really this is probably going to be the movie to watch for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Absolutely, hands down, recommend. Go watch Magnificent Seven. My name is Chris Vargas. I'm out.